Los Angeles Dodgers after back-to-back extra inning games, one ending in victory, the other ending in heartbreak. The Mets look to try to secure at least a split of the series with a win tonight. It is going to be Griffin Canning pitching for the New York Mets against Tony Gonsolin of the Los Angeles Dodgers. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to MetropoliFins. We are YouTube's smallest New York Mets and Miami Dolphins channel. My name is Craig. I'm excited to be with you as we are here tonight. Going to see what the Mets can put together. Want to just give a special thank you to everybody who's already in the chat. Thank you to Darren. Let's go Mets, baby. Thank you to Everyday Mets. Rally Pig, bottom first. We got Rally Pig out. In fact, we have a new thing tied to Rally Pig tonight. So we're excited about that. And so we're excited to be here with all of you. Before we get started, want to give a special shout out to the patrons of this group, to Darren and to Bifer. Appreciate you so much for supporting this channel. If you want to help support this channel, if you like the content and you want more, you're like, I can't get enough of MetropoliFins content, then we would love it if you would join the Patreon community. And for every person who joins the Patreon, we're going to pet the pig. Pet the pig for the patron is live. And maybe if we give the Rally Pig more love, the Mets will score more runs. So by you supporting the patron and petting the pig, it's going to allow more rallies and the Mets to score more runs and the Mets to win more games. So just think about, you are contributing to Mets wins this season. Yes, the Mets are going to be facing the red hot Rockies next. There is a thing called negative regression. There's also a thing called positive regression. It's hard to be as bad as the Rockies have been. But they're not the only team trying to turn things around either. The Baltimore Orioles are trying to really get their season back on track as well. So for those of you who do want to join the Patreon, you're going to get early access to videos like our power rankings and our 3 up, 3 down, which I'm going to record immediately after this. And maybe those very Rockies will make the list of 3 up teams that are doing awesome. All right, well, we are going to be here with you. The game is going to get started in just a couple minutes. Let's first run through the Mets lineups here really quick so you guys can have that. We'll bring that up here. Let's bring that on the screen for you so you can see. So for the Mets tonight, leading off will be Francisco Lindor. At shortstop, Brandon Nimmo hitting second and left. Juan Soto batting third and right. Juan Soto has 3 home runs over his last 4 games. Pete Alonso is hitting fourth and playing first base. Brett Beatty gets the 5-hole today, hitting second. Jared Young, designated hitter, batting sixth. I think playing second for Beatty. I don't know what I said there. All right, Ronnie Mauricio is back in the lineup again today, looking for his first hit of the season. He's playing he's playing third base tonight. Brett Beatty's playing second base. Jeff McNeil is playing center field, and Luis Torrens is playing catcher. So I'm pretty on board with this lineup. The only one I'd rather have Acuna in here than Jared Young. But alas, that's how it is. The last shovelful of dirt. No, I'm not going to be the one who's going to jinx the Braves' downfall. That's for sure. I will not be the one who does that. Pitching for the Dodgers today will be Tony Gonsolin. So we'll have that. This game is about to get underway. Francisco Lindor, of course, leading off for the Mets. We're going to throw the scoreboard on the screen for you as well, so you can be following along. Let me figure out how many games are actually going on. How about and Lindor is hit by the pitch. So there is a leadoff base runner for the New York Mets. Where did that pitch get him? I don't know. Can't tell if it's his ankle or it's somewhere on his foot. Let me see the replay here one more time. Yeah, just kind of the top of his right foot. All right, Lindor is on first. The Mets are going to have the leadoff batter. How's it going, D-Rails? Lounge, I ran through the lineup. I'll do it again here in a second. Lindor is hilarious, yeah. Mr. Smiles. Mr. Smiles. Mets have 7 left-handers in the lineup tonight. The only righties are Pete Alonso and Luis Torrens. All right, the Mets lineup is Lindor, Nimmo, Soto, Alonso, Beatty, Jared Young, Ronnie Mauricio, Jeff McNeil, Luis Torrens. That's the Mets lineup tonight. Dodgers will have Otani, Betts, Freeman, Tasker, Hernandez, Muncy, Pajes, Conforto, Rushing, and Kike Hernandez. First pitch to Nimmo is a strike, 0-1. Yeah, I'm not. Even if I thought the Braves are done, I'm still not going to be the one that says the Braves are done. I know where this Mets team was a year ago and what they were able to do. You have to be really far out to be completely done at this point in the season. I don't even think the Orioles are done yet. I think it's going to be a near impossible road, but I think they're the type of team that could do it. So, and I think it would be one of the greatest stories in baseball history if the Orioles could make the World Series this year. I'll let you guys say it. I'll let you guys say it. It's like I don't want to jinx a no-hitter. I don't want to jinx this. That's inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Brandon Nimmo. The last time Nimmo did something boneheaded, he had 9 RBIs. Yeah. I don't know if you guys caught the interview after the game. He took responsibility for it and he just said, look, the ball wasn't where the ball basically moved a whole lot at the very end. And that's a ground ball to second. It was going to be a double play, but it gets under the glove. Lindor goes to third. Beatty's safe at first. I'm going to tell you what. Lindor looked like he was hobbling a little bit on that play. He looks like he's in a little bit of pain. So the Mets have runners on first and third, nobody out. Nimmo is going. He steals the base easily. The Mets have runners on second and third with nobody out. Juan Soto at the plate. The first pitch was a strike there. No balls, 1 strike. I think it's probably both. Lounge, I think both. It was harder than it looked, and he also probably should have caught it. I don't know where that puts me in the overall, but that's how I would judge the Nimmo error. Yeah, they're pointing out that Lindor was definitely there. Torpedo glove. The early rally pig is working. Yep. That's inside on Soto. 2 balls and 1 strike to Soto. So they're saying on the broadcast here, Juan Soto is trying to do something he's never done in his career, which is 6 straight games with an extra base hit. He is on 5. So that's 3-1. Another take there. So even in a Soto season where he's been struggling a little bit, he's still on the verge of doing something he's never done in his career. He has homered in 3 of his last 4 games as well. Risky move, pulling out rally pig early. Yes, we're doing pet the pig for the Patreon. So every time you join the Patreon, we're gonna pet the pig. So for anybody who wants to help build this community, Soto fouls that one back. It's gonna be a full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. All right. It is 3 balls, 2 strikes to Juan Soto. Tony Gonsolin pitching. Mets have runners in second, third. Nobody out. Mets have to score multiple runs here. Just have to. Soto hits it to second. That's going to get 1 run home. That's going to be an RBI, productive out. Lindor gets in. The Mets do get off to the early 1-0 lead here tonight. So 1-0 Mets over the Dodgers. Is an RBI for Juan Soto, doing what he needs to do to just get things rolling. Yeah, so we need to do channel membership lounge. We need 500 subscribers and 4,000 3,000 watch hours, I believe, is for subscribers. Pete hits this one. He drives it out deep. It is out to the wall. It's gone. It's a bomb for Pete Alonso. That gets Pete Alonso to 50 RBIs on the season. That gets the Mets off to a 3-0 lead. And I don't want to say that this game is scripted by any means, but I posted a short earlier today. I asked ChatGPT about the game, and ChatGPT predicted a Pete Alonso home run. It predicted a Pete Alonso 2-run home run in the second inning, which I don't know how that would happen. But it literally, and you guys can go back and watch the show. I'll post it for you. But anyway, it is 3-0. ChatGPT predicted the Mets were going to win 6-4 today. It thought 1 run in the first and a 2-run homer by Pete in the second. So this is a great start for the Mets, especially considering how rough an ending to the game it was last night. So there you go. That's how we're going to pet the pig. We pet the pig. Mets score more runs. See, I figured it out. Figured out the solution. Canning with Terren's unstoppable. Yep. I love the crooked number of the first inning. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Brett Beatty. You lagged and just saw the home run. It's all good, Lounge. It's all good. You can always pause the stream. I'll try to time it up here so you can know. Here is the 1-2 pitch. Beatty hits it back up the middle. They had him played right there. The throw almost pulled Freddie Freeman off the bag. Dodgers are having some defensive issues here in the first inning. That was a nice hit by Beatty. I mean, they just had him played perfectly up the middle. That wasn't great footwork by Freddie, but it was a great job for him to just catch that throw. I like Freddie Freeman as a person, but you can definitely tell he's a little hobbly out there. So yeah, ChatGPT is going to spoil the whole game. I mean, it called. I mean, not going to lie. There's a swing and a miss by Jared Young. 1 ball, 1 strike. That puts Pete Alonso 3 home runs behind David Wright for second all time, and 13 home runs behind Darryl Strawberry to tie for first of all time in Mets history. Jared Young goes around on that check swing. 1 ball, 2 strikes. That's inside to Jared Young. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Mets also doing a great job of running up the pitch count of Tony Gonsolin here. All right. And Jared Young goes down swinging there, but the Mets score 3 runs. I'm not even caught up on my banner yet, but here we go. There's the Rally Pig stats for you. It is going to be 3-0 Mets going to the bottom of the first inning. A absolute great start for the Mets here. Yeah, so I've seen those animation in the game lounge. I don't know what they are using. So I've tried to figure out like what it is because I saw one yesterday. And, like the batter kind of comes up from the ground and it's kind of cool. But I don't know what website they're pulling that from. I mean, it's so Rally Pig all odd number innings. Hey, that sounds like a plan here for tonight. Sounds like a plan. So if there's someone in the chat lounge, like if there's actually like the creators in the chat, the Rally Pig is the new Grimace. MLB website 3D view. Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can find this. Game Day 3D. Well, would you guys be interested in something like that? Let me see if I can. So how do I get to it? Let's see what we got. So can I hold on? I already have Game Day open. How do I get to it? You keep Baseball Savant on. I like having Game Day on just because sometimes it gives the clarity of what actually happened on the play, but I don't generally put it on the screen. That's a better view for you guys here. How MLB Game Day 3D. All right, Shohei Ohtani's at the plate. It's 2 balls, no strikes. There's a strike on the outside corner. 2 balls, 1 strike. MLB website 3D view. All right. Yeah, I'll see if I can figure. I'll try to pull it up, Lounge. This is going to be flied out to center field. Jeff McNeil makes the catch. I'm just trying to find a direct link to the 3D view. All right. In Game Day, look for the balls and strikes animation in the middle of the screen. Scroll upper left-hand corner and click 3D view. Thank you. Let's see what I can do. See if I can figure that out. Oh, I see it. I see the 3D view. All right. So, all right, let's pull this up here. Let's try this thing out. See if you guys like this view. Mookie Betts is at the plate, by the way. And Betts strikes out swinging. Here we go. Here we go. See if you guys like this. We'll see if it doesn't get too choppy. And that ball is hit out to deep center field, all the way out to Jeff McNeil, and he makes the catch. All right, that last view is kind of weird. I got to learn how to navigate this a little bit better here. Well, the umpire just sank into it's really big. It takes up like a lot of the screen. But if I go small, then everything is really small. So let's see. What if I'm gonna mess with this a little bit here. Yeah, I think I was looking at that one yesterday. Soto drove in a run with a productive out. Yes, I agree. I really like Nimmo back in the 2-hole. I was kind of skeptical when Mendoza made the change. So, sometimes I'm critical of Mendoza, but I was not happy moving Soto out of the 2-hole, but I still don't want Marte in the 2-hole, but I like having Soto in the 3-hole with Lindor getting up first and then Nimmo second, and that opportunity to try to stay out of the double play early on. So the problem I'm having right now is all right, well, we'll try this out. You guys let me know if you like this. Oh, the catcher just catcher just came up out of the dirt. Brave season is cooked. Will you guys tell me if you like this? Let me see. So these are my options. If you want me smaller, or this is about that's like that. What is that? How do you guys like that? Zombie catcher. I want to pull out a little bit here, right? How's it going, Seth? I don't want it to. Why does it keep zooming in? I don't want it to zoom in. Oh well, whatever. It is good. I do think I'm probably more convinced now than ever that the Mets and the Dodgers are the two best teams in the National League. Oh, by the way, we have cookies again tonight. I get one bite of cookie for every run the Mets score, so I get 3 bites of cookie. So that's one bite. There's 2 bites. It's 1 ball, 1 strike to Jeff McNeil. Because the Tigers just appear to be steps above everybody else. I think the Tigers have the best overall pitching and defense balance of anybody. How's it going, Lane? That's going to be a hit for Jeff McNeil. The only thing about this animation is I got to see if I have other windows I can close because it makes my feed a little choppy. I'm going to try to close all my extra tabs. My computer's kind of old. So anyway, Jeff McNeil is on first with 1 out. We're trying out a new little setup here tonight. No balls and 2 strikes to Luis Torrens. I think Mauricio's at-bats weren't horrible last night. It looked like a guy who moved up to the majors after being in AAA and maybe a little bit overwhelmed. No, I do like this Mets team. I'm still not convinced. I'm not convinced in the entirety of the roster construction of the Mets yet, which there's still a trade deadline coming up. Torrens grounds it to short, over to second to first. That's going to be a double play, and that's going to retire the side. No, the Mets are going to be super slow on bringing up any of these minor league pitchers. There's just no reason to be bringing anybody up right away. Especially with all the arms that are coming back. Wessie, let's go Mets, baby. So it is 3-0 Mets. I got to get my banner updated. We were working so hard on trying this game day in 3D. So you guys let me know if you like it. I have another computer that I could bust out, and I maybe just need to bust out my other computer just for the purpose of having a different computer to watch the game on versus this. Because it's just, this computer just cannot process. Can't process quite as well as it should. Or at least as well as it needs to in order to do all this. So, but we'll try it. Appreciate everybody being here. Make sure you guys hit that like, hit that subscribe. Kyle Bird and Aroldis Chapman. Yeah, there's lots of interesting things. Lots of different potential players that the Mets can go after. If I know anything, David Stearns is going to find random relievers that you and I have never heard of and that no one is talking about. And that's who's going to end up being on our team. And at least half of them are going to pan out to be pretty good. So we're on commercial break right now. It is 3-0 Mets as we are headed to the bottom of the second inning. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us here tonight. ChatGPT said the Mets are going to win 6-4 tonight. So far. And it said they were going to be up 3-0 after 2. That's pretty good. Yeah, Sproat's not ready. Jonah Tong is the one who's really lighting up the minors overall. No rush. No rushing. KC, how's it going? Being here. Hope you are doing well tonight. Yeah, there's no rush in bringing these young arms up. That's the old Mets. The new Mets don't have to do that. The new Mets are trying to build for sustainability. I think a chunk of those arms are never going to see the majors with the Mets. I think they're going to be trade bait at a certain point. Some of the arms, not all of them, of course. All right, Griffin Canning is pitching here. First pitch is a strike. Canning set down Ohtani, Betts, and Freeman 1, 2, 3 in order in the first inning. There's a swing and a miss. No balls and 2 strikes. This is Teoscar. Both Teoscar and Kike Hernandez are in the lineup for the Dodgers tonight. That's fouled back as well. Yep. No, I mean, and the whole thing is this pitching lab and this hitting lab, that is buying the Mets time. And David Stearns also buys the Mets time by finding diamonds in the rough, so that way you're not rushing guys up who don't need to be rushed up. You want to bring up guys like Ronnie Mauricio, who's hitting 500 in AAA. Those are the guys you want to bring up. You don't want to bring up some guy who's hitting like 270 in AAA to the majors. You want to bring up guys who are hitting like 340, 350. You want to bring up pitchers who are, have sub-2 ERA, sub-1 whip. So that's the sort of things that you are looking for. Who's pitching for the Mets next Tuesday? I don't know offhand. One ball, 2 strikes to Teoscar Hernandez. No outs here in the bottom of the second. Mets off to a 3-0 lead. Mauricio fields the grounder to third, throws it over to first. And that's going to be the first out in the bottom of the second inning. So the Mets are on a 6-day rotation. A 6-game rotation. So it might actually be Canning again, Lane. Hold on. Is that right? Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Yeah, unless something changes, Lane, it's probably going to be Griffin Canning next Tuesday. Because the Mets are rolling with a 6-man rotation right now. At least while they're on this 10 games and 10-day stretch. So, unless something changes, again, I haven't looked at a full projection out, but based on what I know, well, I don't know. I guess the Mets don't play Monday. So it could be McGill. It's not listed. It's not listed on MLB.com yet. No, you're only going to see guys like Tidwell and Tong and stuff like that as spot starters. Your broadcast is out, D-Rels? Are you watching on MLB TV or SNY or I don't even know what channel this is on tonight. Yeah, what is anybody else having signal issues? Try to keep you updated here. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes to Max got the munchies Muncie. Yeah, I don't know how Mauricio compares to Beatty at third. I still want to see Acuna as the everyday second baseman. I'd rather see McNeil and Tyrone Taylor split the center field duties. Looks good to you, Casey? All right. Yeah, my MLB feed is fine. It's just a little choppy because of my outgoing stream. But that's on my computer. That's not on SNY. I wish they would have gotten. There's a strikeout for Muncy. I wish they would have gotten Mauricio center field reps. Mets got the runs on a so Juan Soto had an RBI ground out. Well, so I'll go in order here. Lindor got hit by a pitch. Brandon Nimmo hit what was going to be a ground ball double play, but it got under the glove, and Lindor went first to third. Nimmo got stole second. Soto hit an RBI ground out, and then Pete Alonso hit a 2-run home run. Sorry, that was a lot of words to say. RBI ground out by Soto, 2-run homer by Pete Alonso. Grounded to Lindor. Deep throw. We'll see if the Mets are going to challenge this. They're saying he definitely beat it, so. All right. I'm going to go ahead and I think it's personally, you guys let me know what you think. But I kind of like having the scoreboard up personally of the games. Let me make it bigger for you, of the games that are in progress. There's 6 games in progress right now. I'm just always a fan of like what else is going on in Major League Baseball. If you guys really like the 3D animation, I do have another computer and other monitors I can set up. I've thought about setting up other things too, but so the Dodgers have a runner on first here. But thank you for the info on the 3D, because there will be times that I think it would be fun to mess around with that a little bit and have some fun. But I need to have a little less choppy game, so do it. So there's a runner on first, 2 outs, bottom of the second. Canning tries to pick off play. Pages gets back. It'll be interesting to see what the Mets do. I still think that it is. I would not be surprised if Marte is not on this team after the trade deadline. Calls third strike, and that's going to retire the side. There's a fight in the Angels game before the game started. I don't know if you guys heard about that. So the Red Sox finally got some revenge on the Angels from last couple days, but there was a fight in the Angels game. For those of you talking about the Braves earlier, of course, the Braves are down 1-0 to the Diamondbacks. Tigers lead the White Sox 4-3. Mariners over the Orioles 1-0. Orioles are on a 5-game winning streak, I believe, right now. Padres over the Giants 2-0, and the Twins over the Athletics 1-0. I think Everyday Mets too. You were asking like why do I have the Tigers? I do think the AL Central maybe is the best division in baseball too. Yeah, the thing. Yeah, I don't know if I've ever seen a pregame fight in baseball before. I agree. I just wonder, are we to the point? I just don't see how the Mets are carrying. I don't see how you're carrying Marte and Winker at this point. Like, I don't see how you're going to do that. If I'm going to keep one of the two, I like them both as individuals, but if you're going to keep one, I probably would prefer Winker. But I agree. There is a benefit to having veteran leadership. I just think we're kind of the point now that Lindor is the veteran leader. he has fully taken a hold of that mantle, and I don't know if you need to have that Marte personality on the team as much as you maybe did a year or two ago, because now, I mean, Pete Alonso's a veteran now. I mean, when you're getting close to topping the Mets all-time home run leader, I mean, I like Marte. I just don't see like so here's the thing. Let's imagine everybody is healthy for the Mets. All right. So who are your 13 position players? You guys can do this. Anybody can do this. And anybody who wants, pick your 13. Who are your 13 position players? And even if you don't want to be like super specific, I mean, you're going to carry two catchers, right? So it doesn't really specifically matter where you are in the Alvarez situation, Alvarez, Torrens, or anybody else in the minors. But you're going to carry two catchers. So then you need to figure out 11. So what 11 position players, and anybody can type theirs up, would you pick must currently be in Mets system but don't need to be healthy? And I know we're gonna vary on a bunch of different things, but that's the rule. So what 11? Assuming we're carrying two catchers, because that's not really the focus of this question. So you're gonna carry what 11 position players are you gonna pick to carry on this team? They have to be in the Mets system currently, so it can't be like Luis Robert. It's not a trade target. Someone who's currently in the Mets system, but they don't have to be healthy. So you can have Vientos on your what is your ideal 11? So yeah, so what, and you can break it down. So I'd love to kind of see what everyone would do. And I reserve the right to change my mind, but I'm gonna piece mine together here really quick as we are talking about it here. And again, this includes, you got to include everybody who's on the injured list that you would ideally want on the team. Like everybody, who are your 11? Is that number right? Yeah, I think it's 11. And I'm going to just tell you in mine, Jose Siri doesn't make mine. No, I mean, like, if just assuming everyone is healthy, who would you want on the team today? Who do you think are the best 11 players today? Base hit for Nimmo. Oh, by the way, we're in an odd number inning, aren't we? So Rally Pig needs to come out. I'm typing up my ideal here. And also, Vientos has a role as your backup first baseman too, I believe. Just so you guys know. That let's see what else we got here. Who am I missing? Yeah, like Jared Young doesn't make my cut. I mean, maybe Marte can make my cut here. Maybe I'm missing somebody. I feel like I'm probably missing someone. Oh, wait, hold on. I know I forgot Ronnie Mauricio. So sorry. All right, this is my 11. All right, this is my 11. I got left field Nimmo, center field McNeil, right field Soto, third base, second base, DH. I've got four guys rotating those three spots. Vientos, Beatty, Acuna, Mauricio. I got those four guys rotating through those three spots. Also, Mauricio can play some shortstop. And then I've got Tyrone Taylor and then Winker or Marte. So one of Vientos, Beatty, Acuna, Mauricio is on the bench every day. And then Tyrone Taylor. And then one of Winker or Marte. Pick one veteran presence. So that's who I would roll with. All right, D-Rels, you got Lindor, Nimmo, Soto, Alonso, or Nimmo, Soto, Alonso, Vientos, Alvarez, Torrens, Winker, McNeil, Taylor, Marte, Acuna, Mauricio. Yep. Yeah, so I mean we're pretty close. You know, I think ours are the same, right? Other than Marte for Beatty. So it's an interesting exercise because it's easy to say bring this person, this person, this person, but you can fill 11 spots really quick. And there's a walk to Juan Soto. So Mets have runners on first and second with one out. Yeah. So I mean that's basically it though. I mean we essentially agree. So if you want Beatty, like that's the problem. If you want all four of them baby Mets, the infield baby Mets, then one of Winker or Marte has to go. That's really how it goes. And then I don't have room for Siri after that. All right. Everyday Mets. Let's see. Lindor, Nimmo, Soto, Alonso, Vientos, Beatty, Alvarez, Siri, Winker, Torrens, Marte, Acuna, Taylor. So you don't have Mauricio. Big swing and a miss by Pete Alonso there, looking for his second home run of the day. I'm trying to see who do you not have? So you're saying goodbye to that's popped up by Pete. He just missed it. Mauricio for one of Marte or Winker, and then who else do you not have that I have everyday Mets? There's somebody else that you have because you have Siri. Lindor, Nimmo, Soto, Alonso, Vientos, Beatty, Alvarez. No, because you have Tyrone Taylor. So you don't have Mauricio. Who I know I'm missing one here. McNeil? Do you not have McNeil everyday Mets? Is that who it is? Ooh, so you don't have McNeil. Yeah, and McNeil. So you're trading out. You'd have Jose Siri over Jeff McNeil. Did I read that right? I'm trying to make sure. My eyes are going buggy. There are two outs here, top of the third. Beatty is at the plate. Beatty could use a big hit right here. He's been struggling the last couple of days. I'd like to see him get back on track. Beatty grounds it down to the right side, and he's going to be retired. So Rally Pig is going to go down with no runs scored that inning. Remove Acuna for McNeil. Yeah, see, and I just feel like the ceiling on Acuna is higher than the ceiling on Jose Siri, but I just feel like the Mets have enough veteran presence. You know, in my mind, and maybe your definition of a veteran would vary from mine, but in my mind, Soto's a vet, even though he's a young kid, relatively speaking. He's still a vet. He's a World Series champion. He's been there. He's done that. You know, You've got Lindor is the consummate pro. I think Alonso is a vet at this point. McNeil is a vet at this point. Nimmo has to be a vet at this point. He's the longest tenured Met on the team. And then either Winker or Marte. And I like the grit. Personally, I like the grit that Winker provides. And I like having the flexibility and the speed. You know, I think Tyrone Taylor gives you enough speed in the outfield as a sub, but now, of course, there's trades I'd like to see the Mets make too. But I just think there's enough veteran presence that you don't need to keep both Winker and Marte on this team. And I think the Mets have moved past the era of carrying a lefty and a righty DH, and they need to move into the era of either rotating the DH among position players if they want to go that route, or going the Dodgers route, which is just get the best hitter you possibly can for that spot and lock them in there every day. I don't think in modern day baseball with the flexibility that you want to have two players locked up for the DH position who really can't play. And it's not to say that Marte couldn't play in the outfield and Winker couldn't play in the outfield, but we did see as soon as Winker played a game in the outfield, as soon as he played a game in the outfield, he got hurt because he's just not out there on a regular basis. And that's no fault to him. Maybe it's just a freak injury, but still. All right, we're heading to the bottom of the third inning. Mets are still up 3-0 here. But there is a logjam in this infield, and it's not going to get any better in the years to come. It does feel like there's maybe a little bit of a break, and then the next wave is going to be outfielders and catchers potentially coming. But Lindor's not going anywhere. Maybe Pete Alonso's going somewhere, but even if he is, maybe that's the opening for Vientos if Pete doesn't stick with the Mets, that Vientos trains hard and becomes our first baseman next year. Because I think he's taken some reps at first. Is Vientos? I know he's hurt, but is he our backup first baseman? I just want to see what MLB.com says. Yeah, MLB.com has Vientos as the backup first baseman. And on the current roster configuration, this is notable that Jared Young is our backup first baseman right now. So that I would assume that that's going to mean that Jared Young's going to be with his team at least until Vientos comes back. Dalton Rushing strikes out for the first out of the inning. So the question is, can you get Pete? Can you get Pete on a 3-year deal? According to the Mets prospect list, Ryan Clifford is due 2026. Now, obviously, it's just a projection. So if you could sign Pete for a 3-year deal, overpay him, especially if the Mets win World Series this year. Clifford and Pete, co-man, first base. Pete moves to DH in 2027, or at least to primary DH. Yeah, that's what because really all you need I mean, I like Pete. We all like Pete as a player, and if unless you're going to move him into that DH spot, which I'm okay with that. I think 3 or 4 years of Pete as primary DH with occasional first base. I think that would be a thing, but then you're not going to, that's going to limit how much you're going to pay probably there. But you really need to get, ideally, you need to get Ryan Clifford, a year and a half. So maybe half of 2026 and 2027, learning with and under Pete. He's only 21 now, so by mid 2027, he'll be like 23 years old. It's a 3-2 pitch, grounded to Mauricio. He makes the play, and there's 2 outs. So Griffin Canning's pitch counts at 41 with 2 outs here in the third inning. So Ryan Clifford, for those of you not familiar, he's the Mets' top first baseman prospect. They don't really have anybody else close. Their next highest pitching or first base prospect is Chris Suero. He's just at high A right now. And that's hit out to right field, a base hit for Shohei Ohtani with 2 outs. Once again, the Mets have done a great job, for the most part, facing Shohei Ohtani with no one on. It allows the pitchers to go after him and sometimes strike him out. Sometimes he wins the battle. How is Jet Williams doing this year, too? So, and Carson Benji and Jet Williams. So the Mets have multiple outfield prospects in the pipeline here. They do have one other infielder who's showing a lot of promise, but still just at high A ball. That's Jesus Baez, but he's not due for a couple more years. Benji's also just high A. But Jet Williams, he's in double A right now. So I'm going to check Jet Williams because he would be someone who possibly could come up near the end of the season when a roster spot opens up. A fly ball to center field, and McNeil makes the catch up against the wall to retire Mookie Betts, and that's also going to retire the Dodgers. The Mets maintain a 3-0 lead as we go to the top of the fourth. Griffin Canning tiptoes through the raindrops just a little bit, dodges some trouble, and gets out of there. All right, Jet Williams, let me bring this up for you guys, for those of you who are interested. So in 2025, let's just look at his base stats. And he's hitting 272. That's not bad at all. So, probably not quite ready to move up to AAA, but 272, 4 home runs, 2 triples, 12 doubles, 44 hits, and 162 at bats. So OPS is 820. Definitely a little bit of work to do. That doesn't sound quite good enough to get the call up to AAA. He did end the very end of last year in AAA, and in very limited. In 6 games, he hit 364 in AAA. So, but anyway, they have him listed as a shortstop here, but he also is playing outfield as well. Let's see if we can just. Oh, sorry. Yeah, Rumble Ponies. Not the Binghamton Mets, Binghamton Rumble Ponies. Jonah Tong pitched well again for Binghamton today. We'll pull up the box score. We'll see how all of our double A friends did today. Jet Williams went 2 for 4 with a walk and a strikeout today. Nick Morbido, he went 1 for 3. Ryan Clifford 0 for 4. He's hitting 224. He's definitely there. Alex Ramirez 2 for 3 today. Which Smith is this? DeAndre Smith. Kevin Parada, he was the designated hitter today. He went 0 for 2. He's just hitting 186 on the season. He's definitely had a there was a lot of talk that it was going to be Alvarez and Parada as their starting catcher come like 2026, 2027, and Parada still needs a lot more development there. Then Jonah Tong, he pitched 5 innings today. 5 innings of no hit ball. His ERA in Double A, well, ERA for the season is 2.02. So absolute great season that he's having. Yeah, Canning is back home out in Los Angeles. I agree. 3-0 is not safe. 3-0 is not safe. I'm gonna go ahead and throw the scoreboard back up for you guys. Oh man. Yeah, Braves have the bases loaded. I'll throw that game day up really quick. For those of you keeping one eye on the Braves here. 2-1 Diamondbacks over the Braves, bottom of the ninth. Jared Young is at the plate. It's 3 balls, 2 strikes. Gonsolin's up to 56 total pitches. That's outside. Jared Young works the walk. So the Mets trying to put some more runs on the board. Kmart in for the Diamondbacks. The blue light special. Blue light special. Hey, they got out of it. Michael Harris struck out. Diamondbacks got the win. Very nice. Nice work. Nice work, Diamondbacks. By the way, the Diamondbacks are not doing great either. They're even with like some of their early season success, they're just 29-31, 2 games under 500. Ronnie Mauricio is up. 1 ball, 1 strike. Mauricio still looking for his first hit of the season in the majors. Not that pitch. That was bad pitch. That was low inside in the dirt. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Mauricio. By the way, in case you guys didn't hear, we've talked a lot about Vientos, but the report is not as bad as initially thought. Fouled away by Mauricio here. I'll give you an update on the commercial break. I don't want to miss the game. It is a hamstring injury, but it's not quite as bad as initially feared. So we'll give you an update. So we do have good news on that front. That's high to Mauricio. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Mets are up 3-0. Top of the 4th. Griffin Canning pitching well. Mauricio goes down swinging. Yeah. Well, I think what's great about this is if If Vientos comes back and he's healthy, it's not a big deal to send Mauricio back down. Like, hey, you got your cup of coffee in the majors, you got a little more experience, got a little more refining to do. Jared Young runs on the play, and it's going to turn into a ground out by Jeff McNeil. But the Mets have been running a little bit more, and they just saved themselves from being hit into a double play right there. And Nimmo was running earlier today, stole a base. I like this. I like the Mets being a little more aggressive, especially when you have guys who are contact hitters. I'm hoping it's not just based on Gonsolin. I'm hoping this is an actual strategic change because I feel like the Mets have hit him to way too many ground ball double plays. Luis Torrens is up now. One ball, no strikes to Torrens. Torrens himself grounded into a double play earlier this game. Oh, that was definitely a ball. Torrens is like, give me that call. We better get that pitch too. That was like an inch or two below the strike zone. See if Torrens can come through with a nice base knock here. Too big of a swing. Too big of a swing. There. One ball, two strikes. Torrens hits one up the middle off of Gonsolin, but Gonsolin's able to recover, throw it to first. That's going to retire the side. We're going to head to the bottom of the fourth. Mets remain up 3-0. Well, appreciate everybody hanging out. Let's make sure you guys hit that like, hit that subscribe. Tiger's choking again. All right, let's see what we'll do. Oh yeah, I want to do the Ronnie Mauricio update. Hold on, or not the Mark Vientos update. Let me do that really quick here. Mets manager provides update on Mark Vientos. Mendoza gave a telling update about Mark Vientos' hamstring injury. When Vientos went down on the base path Monday night, Carlos Mendoza's first reaction was it didn't look good. But just a day after he was placed on the 10-day injured list, the Mets skipper reported some good news regarding the injury. Vientos has a low-grade hamstring strain and is expected to receive treatment for 10 to 14 days before restarting baseball activities. And then skipping down here, the injury occurred in the 10th inning. We know all of that. Depending on the severity, hamstring injuries can come with a significant recovery period, can often reappear without the proper recovery. So Wednesday's news is very positive. When asked if he was surprised, Mendoza asserted that you never know. A guy goes down the way he did, you kind of expect the worst. But the fact that they're telling us it's low grade, so it's good news there. Now, that being said, and this is no knock on Vientos, but Vientos was definitely struggling, and I do think that the Mets will take advantage because they cannot option him to the minors. They will take advantage of being able to give him a handful of rehab games in AAA just to help get his swing back on track. That's just my prediction with this. And again, it's not a rush to bring him back. You don't want to rush a hamstring injury. But there were definitely something's off in his swing a little bit. And so the ability to go and just work on things pressure free because there was no option for Vientos to go to the minors, but you can bring him through the minors on a rehab, and maybe you can allow him to play instead of 1 or 2 games at AAA, maybe you allow him to play 5 or 6 games at AAA and let him work to steal a little bit in different things. So I think the Mets are going to take advantage of it. It'll be interesting to see how they play it. But you don't want a recurrence of a hamstring injury or something that's going to be much worse than what it what it already how it started, because hamstring injuries can be tough like that. There's one out here in the bottom of the fourth. As Freddie Freeman makes the first out of the inning, Teoscar Hernandez is coming up. By the way, Sean Manaea is starting a rehab assignment in High A, Brooklyn on Friday. So he's beginning. So we basically consider this the start of Sean Manaea's spring training. So that would be probably 5-6 weeks if there's no setbacks here. I think we're about 4 weeks for Montas if there's no setbacks, if I remember right. I mean, over the last 15 days, Mark Vientos was only hitting 182. He's hitting 250 over the last 30 days. So he had like a good first half of May, a rough second half of May. Get angry with Acuna needing to play. Yeah, I hear you. Mendoza really likes having the weapon of Acuna off the bench as the defensive replacement and the pinch hitter. And he's not listening to me or you, Red Man. But I hope you're doing well otherwise. Teoscar Hernandez up. Here's a 2-ball, 2-strike pitch. That's pop foul. Yeah, end of July sounds like a pretty good time frame for most everything. No, Lounge. Just think of them. Everything that you're seeing from Montas and Manaea, just think spring training. That's all you're thinking. Are you concerned when a pitcher gives up 5 runs in a spring training start in the beginning of March? Nope, nobody cares. Or the end of February. That's what this is. He's working on getting the feel for all his pitches back. Now, I'm not saying that he's going to be a great pitcher or anything. I'm just saying that alone, when you look at rehab starts, especially for these guys, it's not like they were pitching and then they've been out for 2 weeks. It's literally like they're starting fresh. It's like they just showed up to spring training and that's it. And they're worried about just getting their pitches over, getting the feel of things, not probably throwing at full velocity yet. So I'm not concerned yet. LA skyline looking sad against compared to New York City. Yeah. Now San Diego maybe a little different. Good battle here. Another foul off by Teoscar Hernandez. Still one out here in the bottom of the fourth inning. There's a tapper in front of the plate. And Griffin Canning makes a great play to field it, fire over to Pete Alonso. That's 2 outs now in the bottom of the fourth. First pitch to Max. I got the munchies. Muncie is a ball inside. 1 ball, no strike. There's 2 outs here, bottom of the fourth. Griffin Canning pitching well today. Pitch counts at 57 through 4. He spiked that one, though. That's not a good pitch. 2 balls, no strikes. So he's averaging, right around 15 pitches an inning. That's not too bad. Griffin canning the cannon. I mean, a kudos to both Canning for putting the work in and the Mets pitching lab for revitalizing a career that was in deep trouble coming off of last season. That's some high praise from D-Rels. I hope you see that, Griffin Canning. I mean, not right now because you're pitching, but that's a ball. 3 balls, 1 strike to Max Munchies. Yes, pitching lab has been amazing. Big swing and a miss. That was a good pitch. That was ball 4. But it looked good until the last second. It's going to be a full count to Max Muncy. It's a 2-hitter right now at the moment. That is ball 4 to Muncy there. I agree with that. I agree with that, Darren. I just, no matter what configuration you put together, I mean, if you don't want to have Mauricio up here yet, if you want him to play in the minors more, like that's fine. I understand that. Um, I think Acuna should be our everyday second baseman. I think Beatty should be our everyday third baseman. Um, I don't mind Vientos occasionally playing third for Beatty. I don't mind Mauricio occasionally DHing. There's room to get everybody in. Yeah, I know. Mendoza is the get everybody the playing time model. I understand that. I struggle with the best rookie in the National League in the month of April is Luis Angel Acuna, and how many starts did he get in the month of May? I mean, I couldn't have been more than 10 or 12 starts the whole month of May after being the best rookie in the National League in the month of April. By the way, for the reliever of the month for the month of April, or for the month of May, sorry, the reliever of the month in the National League was Edwin Diaz. He won that. So, first month, offensive player of the month was Pete Alonso, rookie of the month, Luis Angel Acuna. Second month, reliever of the month was Edwin Diaz. And for May, um, Juan Soto is, or sorry, for June, Juan Soto is in that position that he could be the offensive player of the month for the National League if he can really get rolling here, build on the first couple days. That's low. 3 balls, 2 strikes. So Canning is at risk of walking back-to-back batters here. Pages is the one who's at the plate right now. Broken bat fouled off by Pages. 3 balls and 2 strikes. That was firewood. Yeah, across the board. Like, no, they wouldn't have to have saves. There's a grounder to short by Pages, and Lindor fields it, throws it over to first. Luis Angel Acuna is donning a catcher's mask. That'd be crazy. Get Acuna as catcher, the fastest catcher in the league. That would ruin his knees in like just a few months. All right. Well, we are headed to the fifth inning, and you recall we are doing that. Yeah, Acuna's like, I'll play anywhere. I want to get in this game. I want to play ball. I want to play ball. Let's do a quick little scoreboard update. And we're going to bring out Rally Pig for the fifth inning here. I don't know. Have we run through all the scores today? I don't know. We'll do it real quick. All right. Games in progress. Padres lead the Giants 5-3. Tigers and the White Sox are tied at 4. Mariners have a 2-1 lead over the Orioles, trying to snap the Orioles' 5-game win streak. Twins are up 3-1 on the Athletics. Of course, our game, the Mets are up 3-0. Colorado Rockies are on a 3-game winning streak. Did that officially sweep the series? By the way, did the Rockies just complete a series sweep? I don't know if they have a 4-game series or not. Yes, that they complete the sweep. The Colorado Rockies just swept the Marlins. So, by the way, I don't expect that. Like, you can't expect the Rockies are just going to be like quitting on the season. You know, there's individual players fighting for their careers. Anyway, a couple other games that went on earlier today. Brewers beat the Reds 9-1. Red Sox beat the Angels 11-9 in a crazy affair. There was a fight before that game even started. Go check that up. Pirates beat the Astros 3-0. Good win for the Pirates. Nationals beat the Cubs 2-0. Guardians over the Yankees 4-0. Blue Jays over the Phillies 2-1. Thank you, Blue Jays, for that. Diamondbacks over the Braves 2-1. Thank you, Diamondbacks, for that. And the Rays beat the Rangers 5-4. And the Royals and Cardinals were rained out today. So that is your scoreboard. We'll have the active games up on the screen for you so you can follow along. All the rivals lost today. Yankees, Phillies, and Braves. Yeah, it's a good day. And the Marlins, too. I mean, I don't really like the Marlins either. Even though I live in Florida. They always seem to be mean to us. I agree. Well, the other thing that I wonder if the Mets have completely given up on the Vientos at first base experiment. But I would just think there'd be games you could play Vientos at first and let Pete DH. Like, not like every single day, but like once a week, giving Vientos the start at first base. You keep him like prepped as your backup first baseman and give Pete a day where he just gets to focus on hitting. Maybe pick a day when Pete's facing a pitcher he struggles against a little bit more, that he can really focus on trying to beat that pitcher. I feel like that's maybe an area where you could get Vientos a few more reps on the field without hurting this lineup, because let's always hope it doesn't happen. But if Pete were to go down with, even if you need to sit out 2 or 3 days, like, you want somebody in there. And it's like, it's Vientos is your backup first baseman. I feel like once a week or once every other week, getting Vientos in there, do that. No, I don't think it's the Vientos not fielding lounge. I think it's Vientos not getting in the lineup every day. I think that's the issue. He doesn't need to start 7 days a week, but you want him to start 5 out of every 7 games, 4 out of every 6 games. Oh yeah, we're top of the 5th here. Lindor is up, by the way. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. It's Rally Pig time. As a reminder, you want to help support this channel, join our growing community of MetropoliFins. You can do so by joining us on the Patreon. Let me go ahead and grab that link, throw it in the comments for you if you want to check it out. For every person who joins the Patreon, we're going to pet the pig, add some magic. So partner with us on Patreon and I will pet the pig. You can hop on over there at any point in time, join our growing community. We'd love to have you. as we build and keep trying to bring you the best and the best of videos. By the way, this I got to show you this because I know there's some of you guys who aren't seeing this. This is hilarious, though. So a bunch of the Mets are just hanging out in the dugout. So that's Luis Angel Acuna in the catcher's mask. Got Marte. I don't even know who all is there. We got like the whole crew just hanging out, having fun in the dugout. So, in case you're not watching the game right now, if you see my smiles, that's what's going on. All right, Lindor is retired for the first out in the fifth inning. It's going to bring up Brandon Nimmo. Soto having fun. Yep, as a team. What are Mets doing in the dugout? Mets are loose. They're building camaraderie. They're building a team. It was a good inside out swing by Nimmo, but goes foul. No balls, two strikes. It's weird. The anti-fandom that people have towards other fan bases is always just kind of weird to me. I don't care what other teams do for the most part. Like, do your thing. Do you? Swing and a miss. There's two outs. There's a group of fans who build their personal identity around their team. I think that's a rather poor life decision to build your identity around your team. Like, I like the Mets. I enjoy the Mets. I enjoy talking about the Mets. But when the game is over, I'm pretty much done with it. Like, I don't lay awake asleep at night and like, oh my goodness, what if Brandon Nimmo had caught that ball? What would have happened? The Mets could have won. Like, it's over. It's done. The players have moved on to the next game, so why wouldn't I? Yeah, but you can't manufacture that stuff. You can't manufacture the fun stuff lounge. This is the fun stuff. That's what they're doing in the dugout right now. They're doing the fun stuff. They're bonding, they're making memories, they're being a team. Check swing by Soto. Two balls, one strike to Juan. Like last year is a unique year, and it's not going to be replicated. You can't force replication of it. Soto looks like he's having more fun at the plate now too. He's kind of getting his groove back a little bit. Even when he makes a bad swing like he did at that last one, he just looks like he's having a little more fun up there. Soto rips that one. Foul, barely foul down the line. He hit that 110 miles an hour off the bat. So it's the top of the fifth. Gonsolin is at 84 pitches. So if the Mets could get a couple base runners this inning, we could get them out of the game here. And with the short rest of the day game tomorrow, anything that we can do to their bullpen today is going to benefit us. It's inside. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And Soto takes ball 4. The fans all think he swung at the pitch, but he didn't. Yeah, when you hit 3 home runs in 4 games, your swagger comes back really quick. That is for sure. Pete Alonso is at the plate here. 2 outs, top of the 5th. Mets are still up 3-0, but wanting to tag on some more. Pete was going for the home run again. I don't blame him going for the home run. Dodgers are warming up a bullpen arm, Anthony Banda. Polar bear shuffle. The polar bear shuffle. All right, Soto leads off of first. It's 1-1 to Pete Alonso. Top of the 5th, 2 outs. Mets are up 3-0. Gonsolin pitching to Pete. Oh, Pete chases that one. That was outside. Fouls it back. Future Dodger. If Nimmo gets back to his 370 on base percentage, yeah. Yeah, exactly. And then to eventually have either Vientos, Bates, maybe even Pete swings and a miss there. Pete should do exactly that. Dodgers fans shouting future Dodger at Soto. If the Dodgers wanted Juan Soto, they would have paid for Juan Soto. Gonna keep walking Soto for Pete Alonso? Yeah. Yeah, maybe. Rally Pig is 1 for 3 with 3 runs. I'll take that, right? We'll take that. You beat me to it every day, Mets. 1 for 3 with 3 runs. We are doing Pet the Pig for the Patreon tonight. So if you sign up for the Patreon, let me know. I'll pet the pig. Give the Mets some good luck. Did they actually make an offer on Soto? I guess I didn't know that. Oh, I guess it was. You are correct. There you go. There's the proof. E-Rails had that right. There is the link. Yeah, I knew that another team had offered Soto like well more than the Mets. I knew that. So, there's an interesting thing that Soto can do, which is if you go to the Yankees, you're just one among a list of many. And it doesn't matter what you do with the Yankees, there's always going to be someone who's going to be like, yeah, but what about Mantle? What about Ruth? What about DiMaggio? What about Gehrig? What about Jeter? What about Aaron Judge, right? But if you go to the Mets and you do that, and even with the Dodgers, what about Jackie Robinson? But there's no what about. Juan Soto has the chance to be the greatest Mets player of all time. Obviously, that's many, many years down the road. But there is a world where there's no what about anyone else. We are going to the bottom of the 5th here, by the way. Still 3-0 Mets. So there is a world where there is no what about. Juan Soto could. He has the opportunity to be the greatest Mets baseball player, undisputed, of all time. Now that's many, many years down the road. But no matter what he would do with the Yankees or the Dodgers or the Red Sox, there's always, I mean, even if he had career years for the rest of his life, there's always going to be someone that you could do. I guess I'm thinking in terms of offensive players, so I wouldn't compare Soto to Seaver. And Willie Mays, most people like, I don't think many people would ever consider Willie Mays an all-time great Mets player, right? Because he was just the very end of the career. That's just my take on it. I don't know, what do you guys think of like yes, Willie Mays was probably the best player who's ever put on a Mets uniform, but I don't really consider him an all-time great Met. So I'd love to know, what do you guys think on that? Well, exactly. And who knows what's going to happen to the Dodgers with this whole deferred money thing? If the MLB cracks down on that or whatever, it's fouled off by Conforto. Oh yeah, Cohen did a lot of things right. He gave he gave Soto the above and beyond treatment like he would any high level client for from the business side. Yes, exactly, Darren. That's the point. Nice catch by Nimmo on left field, running in to make the first out of the inning. Yeah, no, that's true. I think there's multiple elements, but I fall back. Just my gut says, kind of with Darren, there is no chance that you're ever going to get a statue of Juan Soto as the greatest Dodger player of all time or the greatest Yankee player of all time. There's a chance. Now, whether or not it happens, obviously, there's many years to come to prove whether or not. But there is a chance he could get the statue of greatest Mets player of all time. I think there's advertising revenue side too, where no matter Soto will never be the most popular player on the Dodgers or the Yankees in terms of advertising, but he can definitely have the opportunity to have the highest income through advertising and through, marketing, branding himself. So that's hitting to center field for a base hit. McNeil makes a good play to cut that ball off to hold Muncy to a single. Oh yeah, no, it definitely was not all about the money. Definitely was not all about the money. I honestly I don't understand why a Yankee fan would be upset about it at all, other than just the basics. Like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, obviously, he wasn't going to sign anywhere for nothing. But why would you be upset as a Yankee fan? You had him as a rental. You're not the same organization of many years ago. You're not the old George Steinbrenner overpay for ones. A big swing and a miss there by Kike Hernandez. 1 ball, 1 strike. I just like to me, like, who cares? You went from the Yankees to the Mets. Like, I wasn't that upset when David Cohn went from the Mets to the Yankees. It's just like he was barely a Yankee. He was a Yankee for a breath, and that was it. And he moved on. That's inside. Yeah, Cohen's portfolio is public. Yeah. Yeah, maybe, but I think it was just a mutual. It was just a mutual relationship. It was never a marriage. That is true. And well, Kike got all of it, but he pulled it foul. Well, it's rare to have an owner who both has money and they're willing to spend it, and they actually care about growing the entire organization from the ground up. Outside corner, strike three called to Kike. He does not like that call. Yeah, it's unfortunate. There's a lot of what ifs about that kind of 86 through 88 Mets roster. Well, Otani is coming up with a runner on base. That's the bad news. The good news is there are two outs. And Soto wanted to sign somewhere that they would not be unable to bring other talent in around him if the right player becomes available, right? And so the Dodgers were certainly an option. There you go, former teammates. That's in the dirt. Torrens knocks it down though. Yeah, I would love to see the alternate universe where Doc Gooden stays with the Mets, stays healthy, and stays off drugs. What that could have looked like. Go back and watch highlights from that 1985 season. That was just a bit before my time, but I've gone back to watch highlights. Amazing. One ball, one strike to Otani. That sails on him. Two balls, one strike. Oh yeah, I remember kind of. I for me, the one that hurt me the most as a kid was Lenny Dykstra going to the Phillies. Oh man, did I hate that? That's outside. Three balls, one strike. Yeah, like the Degrom. It was unfortunate, but that's just how that had to play out. I love Degrom. I'm excited that he's having a great comeback season. Hopefully, he'll be able to stay healthy for the whole season. Cried for a week on Strawberry. Yeah, reminds you of Barkley. Yeah, Saquon for sure. It's vibes of that for sure. Going from New York to Philadelphia, and of course, the Phillies had some success in the '90s too. Strike on the outside corner. Torrens was that was a generous call, but Torrens was smart to throw down to first because everybody kind of thought it was a walk. He almost got rushing napping there, thinking it was going to be ball four. It's kind of amazing that yeah, Dwight Gooden, David Cohn, Daryl Strawberry all ended up with the Yankees. There's strike three called. Nice performance by Canning. The ball that the pitch that was called for strike two. Yeah, I mean that was a bad strike call. I'm not, but like if he had challenged that, that was ball four. So I get why Otani's upset on that. That being said, the umps have blown quite a few calls for Mets hitters and pitchers. Torrens had a horrible ball called for strike against him like a plate or two ago, or an inning or two ago. Yeah, I agree. I thought the Mets had it in '88. Like I became a fan in '86, but I was little. But like the time '88 rolled around, I was all in on baseball. I thought for sure that team had it. That was hard for me. The Mets not winning it all in '88. All the failures they had later on, I was older and I could kind of mentally handle it. But as whatever I was, a 7, 8-year-old kid, that '88 team not winning, and then that was just kind of it. They just never really put it together again. Yeah, Dykstra McDowell for Juan Samuel. Oof. Yeah. I wonder what the WAR was for those players afterwards. Dykstra's WAR had to be pretty high, certainly high compared to Juan Samuel. Yep, Mets pitcher. Mets pitcher Griffin Canning dominates Otani. Mets pitchers as a whole have. I mean, yes, Otani's got him a few hits, one home run, but it's been great. Do it for the Mets will be Beatty, Jared Young, Ronnie Mauricio. We're going to the top of the sixth inning here. As of right now, they're saying Gonsolin is still in. A couple score updates. The Giants scored 3 in the seventh to take the lead over the Padres. They're up 6-5. The Orioles scored 2 in the seventh to take the lead over the Mariners. They're up 3-2. Tigers scored 1 in the eighth to take the lead over the White Sox, up 5-4. Twins scored 2 in the fifth. They have a 3-1 lead over the Athletics. So those are the games that are in progress. So Otani wasn't upset about the called third strike so much as he was upset about the called second strike. Anthony Banda is the relief pitcher. He is a lefty. Beatty gets the lefty on lefty matchup. Now remember, last night Beatty was brought in as a pinch hitter, and then they did a pitching change, and he was taken out of the game before he even got to hit. Now that pitch was outside as well. That pitch was just as outside as the Otani pitch was outside. And you can see Beatty's trying to understand. And Beatty's had a lot of those calls that were borderline pitches that were probably balls called as strikes this year. That's flat out. Conforto comes in, makes a nice running grab there. One out here in the top of the sixth. So both Beatty and Otani upset about different calls. Yeah, that Dodgers series. In the NLCS, Lenny Dykstra hit 429. He went 6 for 14 in the NLCS. Greg Jeffries, he went 9 for 27. He hit 333. So all the talk of Greg Jeffries being a bust, he actually did really well. And by the way, with Greg Jeffries being a bust, he actually ended up being an all-star with the Cardinals eventually too. Oh yeah, that would have been so much fun. That would have been so much fun. Keith Hernandez had 5 RBIs, hit 269 in that NLCS. Oh man, there's some great names on here. Mackie Sasser, Mackie the Hacker. I remember him. If you want to look at some of the stats from the series, this is what I'm looking at right now. You guys can. There's plenty of websites, but there's a simple link for it if you guys want to check that out. This is grounded out to third by Marte. It's going to be 2 outs. Mets won games 1, 3, and 6 in that series. They lost game 7, 6-0. I don't want to know. Ron Darling was the losing pitcher that. Of course, Oral Hershiser. Did Oral win 3 games in that series? I guess he just won. He only won one. Oral Hershiser was the MVP of the series, but he only actually won 1 game. What were his stats? Yeah, man, I'm just looking. So it was all downhill because, like, even coming off of that 1988 season, in 1989, Daryl Strawberry threw a punch at Keith Hernandez at Picture Day in March. Dykstra and McDowell traded for Juan Samuel. Kevin Mitchell, who the Mets traded after the '86 season, he ended up winning the National League MVP in 1989. Then the Mets didn't re-sign Keith Hernandez after '89. Gary Carter was released. And Davey Johnson was fired. Then Bob Ojeda, Daryl Strawberry, Gary Carter, and all ended up on the Dodgers by 1991. Ron Darling ended up on the Expos. Yeah, and it was all just downhill from there. They had a decent team. 89, 90, they weren't bad, but they just couldn't get back. And it wasn't the era of 6 teams make the playoffs. It was like 2 teams. Like it was hard to make the playoffs. You had to be one of the best 2 teams in the league. Mackie Sasser with his yips, yeah. Oral Hershiser had some crazy streak. The Mets are retired in that inning there. That's the top of the 6th. We're going to go into the bottom of the 6th inning. As we speak, we're on commercial break. Sorry, I'm reliving some nostalgia, going back through old stuff. Mets were 11-1. You are correct. 11-1 versus the Dodgers in 1988. You want to see the Mets versus Dodgers all time? Sorry, 10-1. It was 10-1. That's from the Dodgers' perspective, by the way. I don't know if I would have guessed that the Dodgers have been in. How many World Series appearances do you think the Dodgers have total? More than I would have guessed. Yeah, David Cohn got in his own way sometimes. 8. D-Rel's guess is 8. That's how many World Series championships they have. So championships is 8, but World Series appearances by the Dodgers. Yeah, isn't that crazy, Lounge? Don't give it away yet. I would not have guessed it was that high. Dodgers World Series appearances. Any other guesses? How many times the Dodgers have made it to the World Series? Yeah, there were just so many fewer teams back then. So I'm sure it was lots of Yankees and Dodgers back in the day. Anyway, here's the answer for you. Dodgers total World Series appearances 26. 26. Yeah, and when it so that it was harder to get in the sense of you had to win, you had to win your division. There's only 2 teams, for the league championship series, but it was easier because you had less teams that you were competing with. And a couple of teams took advantage of that. I still would not have guessed that many though. I would not have guessed 26. Freeman goes down swinging. Oh, that's a beautiful pitch. Wow, that break on that pitch is so good. Tasker Hernandez up with 2 outs here, bottom of the 6th. The strike at the bottom of the zone. This is almost certainly Canning's last inning. Maybe not his last batter. There might be a little leeway here, but this is going to be pitch number 99 for Griffin Canning. Okay, just struck out Freeman. Teoscar drives that to center. Jeff McNeil makes the catch. Yeah, Jonathan. So he pitched really well again today. He pitched 5 innings of no-hit ball today for Double A Binghamton, the Rumble Ponies. We looked up his stats earlier. Excuse me. He's not ready for the majors yet. We'll see. We'll see if he's going to get one more. They'll know if he's out. He'll have gotten a reaction, the handshake in the dugout when he comes back. I mean, it is going to be 5, 6, and 7, so you could at least start him out there next inning and have somebody warmed up in case he gets in any trouble. The best scenario to get Canning back out there is to have the Mets score a couple more runs this inning. All right. Bring out Rally Pig for the 7th inning. We are also doing Pet the Pig for any new Patreon who joins our Patreon and help support this channel. You can join the Patreon and we will pet the pig, give some more good luck to the Mets. By joining the Patreon, you get early access to some of the videos that we produce on the site. And so, if you want to join us, we'd love to have you as part of our growing community. We'll pet the pig. Pet the pig for the Patreon. All right, we are on commercial break. Cubs have 3, White Sox have 3, both been around since the 1800s. Yeah, I mean, Phillies fans been around since 1883. They only have 2 World Series. Read an article on Brooks Raley facing batters. Yeah, kind of forgot about Brooks Raley, but he should be up with the club at some point in time. It looks like he is done. Jeff McNeil slices that one out to left field. He's going to be retired. Sasaki chose the wrong pitching lab. You know, the lure of playing with Shohei, I'm sure, was big. But I do think Sasaki paired with Kodai Senga actually would have been a better move for him. Again, better opportunity to make a name for himself. Have a pitcher who's actually pitching. Lou Trevino is pitching for the Dodgers. Torrens grounds to short. He's going to be retired easily. Mets are not really working the pitch counts here at all. It's going to bring up Francisco Lindor. Scrolling through the scores really quick. Sorry about that. First pitch is a strike to Lindor. Here's a 1-1 pitch to Francisco Lindor. That's outside. 2-1. That's the same pitch that was called a strike on Ohtani. I'm sure he's not happy about that either. Nimmo on deck. Lindor or Soto in the hole. Lindor at the plate. That's in the dirt. 3-1. So good job by Lindor to at least slow down Trevino a little bit here. Lindor rips that one foul. By the way, if you haven't yet done so, please hit that like, hit that subscribe. The bottom of this inning, we're going to go over and we're going to go find a smaller creator who's also streaming this game. Fouled away by Lindor, barely to stay alive. There's a 3-2 pitch. Lindor rips that one foul as well. Yankees and Dodgers have faced each other in the World Series. Max Muncy makes the catch to retire Lindor. Mets go down 1-2-3. Rally Pigs 1-for-4. I don't know why you would be, but in case you are interested in the history of every World Series between the Yankees and Dodgers, there have been 12 of them. 12 times the Yankees have faced the Dodgers. Before last year, 2024, the last time they faced each other was 1981. Faced each other 2024, 81, 78, 77, 63, 56, 55, 53, 52. So 52, 53, 55, 56. So 4 out of 5 years you had Yankees-Dodgers World Series. And then you also had in 49, 47, 41. So, man, if you don't like repeat matchups in the World Series, you would not have liked the 50s. Late 40s and early 50s, they faced each other 6 times in the span of about 9 years. Rally Pig is 1 for 4 with 3 runs today. All right, we're gonna find ourselves a small little streamer, someone who doesn't have a lot of people watching. Oh, I got somebody. Come on, don't have subscriber only. Oh, you're not there though. Oh, I think we did that guy already. Hold on. He's got 100 people watching. Let's see who else we got. Lots of Spanish channels. Absolutely, this still blows my mind. There's a guy who's streaming Mets Dodgers in Spanish. Has 3,400 people watching. Yeah, Rally Pig's back 250, but with 3 runs scored. We'll take that. Is this somebody? Oh, that's Daniel Bear. We just rated him yesterday. We're gonna find someone. We're gonna find the creator to raid here. Ground out to Lindor for the first out of the inning. There's lots of Spanish streamers. There's lots of Japanese streamers. Let's see what else we got. Who else? We haven't done them for a while. He's not actually there. Hold on. We're going to check this out again. Is this somebody? Hold on. Let me see if this is somebody. Yeah, we got somebody. I got somebody. They don't have anybody. Tigers win. All right, I found somebody to raid. There was no one watching when I came in. So hold on. I'm gonna post the link here in a second. I had to dig. I had to dig hard. That's gonna be a 1 out double for Pajes. All right, we're gonna raid a smaller creator. This guy's got a few more subs than us, but there was no one watching before I hopped in. So we're gonna help boost the algorithm. There is the link in the chat. Rated by the MetropoliFins, sharing the love. Jose Marrero. How's it going? Go on over, share some love, hit the like, help the algorithm. I mean, he was buried deep. I had to dig deep. Hey, Everyday Mets, you're a mod over there. Found somebody you know, Everyday Mets. I was digging. I was digging to try to find somebody. Got to dig. Find somebody that there's. So I don't know if he's seen us or not. That's okay. We're still gonna share the love. Let's see. Conforto hit by the pitch. So Jose Castillo is pitching now for the Mets. I got made a moderator that quick. That's hilarious. Well, anyway, oh, I'm on the wrong channel. Hold on. I rated from my wrong account, guys. Hold on. I rated from my other channel's account. That's all right. It still counts. A raid is a raid. Hold on. I'm going to put from the other account. There we go. All right. Well, botch that raid, but that's all right. All right. The Mets are in trouble here. Not big trouble, but trouble nonetheless. Well, thank you guys for raiding, helping out a small creator, helping boost everything. There's a swing and a miss by Rushing. There's 2 outs. I've got to get back to this game here. I have to actually pay attention because Griffin Canning isn't pitching anymore. Jose Castillo is pitching now. We just completed our raid of another small creator. If you haven't yet done so for this small creator, please hit that like, hit that subscribe. We're on our way to 500 subscribers, trying to get there by the All-Star break. Kike Hernandez is up for the Dodgers. Runners on first and second with 2 outs and Ohtani on deck. You got to get Kike here. First pitch is a strike. I think Castillo got away with one there. He just sent a pitch right down the middle, and Kike apparently was taken all the way. There's another big swing. No balls and 2 strikes. So I do like how Castillo is challenging him here. Struck him out. What a great performance there. Jose Castillo got in trouble, got out of trouble. The Mets continue to lead this game 3-0. Hey, you were probably right to be nervous, but you're also right to be a Mets fan in this case. Nimmo Soto Alonso is on the deck. I'm going to do a quick little break, and I'll be right back with you in just a moment. Yeah. Castillo is a former Diamondback, seen the Dodgers plenty. It is true. Well, and it's just also the Dodgers. It's not like it's just a schlub team. It's one of the best teams in baseball. Yep. I mean, the amount of times the Mets have gotten Otani up with no one on base is so high. And they did a really good job overall in the Yankee series with Judge. Now they gave up runners at other times, but I still would like the Mets to score a couple of runs here. Got to assume Edwin Diaz is available in this game. We're going to the eighth. My banner's behind here. Sorry. So we are going to the eighth inning. Diaz is in the bullpen to face Otani, Betts, and Freeman. Well, they haven't lost yet, Redman. They haven't lost yet. Maybe we are that good. Maybe we are that good. Nimmo is hit by the pitch. Second time tonight, the Mets have gotten a runner on base via the hit by pitch. I think second time a leadoff because I think Lindor in the first. Yeah, 4 more runs for sure. So Soto has his extra base hit streak on the line. He's had 5 straight games with an extra base hit. He's never had 6 straight in his career. First pitch is a ball 1. I also have cookies to eat. I get 1 bite of cookie per run scored. So it's very sad. I got to eat 3 bites of cookie. Where is it at? I got to eat 3 bites of cookie at the beginning of the stream in the first inning. And these cookies have been sitting here taunting me since the first inning. So I really want to eat some cookies here, Soto. Yeah, well, this is kind of the new modern way of doing it. You don't save your closer for the 9th if they've got their stars coming up in the 8th. You go after best on best. That's inside to Soto. 2 balls, 1 strike. Pete Alonso on deck. Brett Beatty in the hole. There are some bench options here for the Mets, too. Specifically for Beatty, you've got Acuna and Alvarez. Starling Marte has already hit for Jared Young. Tyrone Taylor has already gone into center field for Jeff McNeil. So you don't have those 2 options. But you do have both Acuna and Alvarez available. Soto takes that one. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Soto working a full count here as well. Cookie Monster Bites. I would like to do that. It's 5 bites per cookie. They're pretty big cookies. Here's the 3-2 pitch to Soto. That's in the dirt. Soto walks. So that'll probably end his extra base hit streak. Unless the Mets can get a bunch of base runners here over the next couple innings. Polar power. Polar power. Did someone call? Mendoza's not messing around. Yep. No, the Mets want this game. The Mets want this game for sure. First pitch to Pete is a strike. No balls, 1 strike. Let's see what you got, Dodgers. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Pete. Oh, he drives it. Oh, I get to eat cookies. I get to eat cookies. Let's eat cookies. That's a 3-run bomb for Pete Alonso. I mean, cookies. That's what we needed. Yeah, baby. It's cookie time. No, cookies in the chat. That was a no doubter, guys. Oh my goodness, that was beautiful. I'm gonna show this replay. This is too beautiful for you guys to not see. Oh man, every bite of cookie is worth it here. Hold on, let me make this big for you. There we go.
And he drives this one to deep left field. Forget that. That is way up in the pavilion. Pete Alonso.
That was so far out there.
3-run bomb. And
But I got one more bite. That was a 3-run homer. I get 3 bites of cookie.
Have a night.
That's a 5 RBI night for Pete Alonso.
Second career multiple home run game for Alonso, a 5 RBI night, and that was crushed.
Before I get in trouble with Major League Baseball. Yeah, save Edwin. 3 of the 4 of the 1 swing. You better believe it. Oh, I mean, that was just absolutely crushed. Yeah, that was the definition of a no doubter. By the way, the Giants did beat the Padres today. That one's official. And the Orioles did hold off the Mariners 3-2 as well. All right, I gotta get back to the game here. I'm like so far behind. There's a 3-1 pitch to Beatty. Fouled back. 3 balls, 2 strikes. All right, here's the 3-2 pitch to Brett Beatty. That's chopped foul. Alonso must do everything. The polar bear shuffle. Polar bear shuffle. Beatty chases that one in the dirt. That's the first out of the inning, actually, already. Oh my god, I gotta update my banners. So many things going on here. Yeah, I agree. You should save Edwin Diaz at this point then. So Ryan Lutos, he was, I guess, just recently called up. Oh, there's a fan on the field. The Mets fans are all cheering, or the Mets are all cheering. See, now you got to go look on YouTube quickly to find it. Someone's got to be posting it. So there's a fan on the field. We got a fan on the field delay basically right now. They don't show us because they don't want to glorify the fan running on the field, but I want to see it. All right, Starling Marte is at the plate. Ronnie Mauricio on deck. Just a fan running on the field, Casey. I'll try to find it on YouTube here. Make him a Met for life. The kissing bandit. Yeah, I remember the kissing bandit. Alonzo must do everything. Yeah, the Mets were like watching it, just like smiling as he got taken down. I'll see if I can find out how far that home run was by Pete. If somebody else knows, go ahead and post it. See what Savant says. 447 on the home run, according to Savant. If you want to like follow within a game, this is kind of cool. You can kind of follow Baseball Savant within the game. It gives you all your win percentages. Gives you all your exit velo in real time. This is kind of cool. I might have to keep this up. Was it I think it was Everyday Mets was the one saying he had it open during the game. Yeah, Morgana. I wonder how often a fan runs on the field. Is it like every day? Is it like one baseball game a day, you think, on average? I'm going to see if I can find the fan running on the field. Mauricio lines out to Max Muncy. That's going to retire the Mets in the top of the eighth, but not before they score 3 runs. It is now a 6-0 lead as we go to the bottom of the eighth. We will see what the Mets do for pitching here. Diaz was warming up. I gotta imagine you have to save him for tomorrow now, or in case someone gets in trouble this game. Now that you're up by 6, you can send in someone else. I'm just trying to find the fan running on the field. That's 9 days ago. That's 11 days ago. Let's see if we can find the clip. Let's see. Filters. Within the last hour. So Jose Castillo is going to come back out. You're too busy looking at Morgana the Kissing Bandit. Elon Musk site. Okay, I'll go look up X, see if I can find it. Another Met Nolan Ryan. Right, exactly. I mean, Nolan Ryan, Tom Seaver, Willie Mays. Yeah. The problem is, I mean, Seaver's probably the greatest Met of all time right now, right? Like Nolan Ryan was a great player, but he just didn't spend the majority of his career with the Mets. It's a good. You are right, though. It's another one. All right, here is the 1-2 pitch to Otani. That's in the dirt. It should be on YouTube soon. Here's 3-ball, 2-strike pitch to Otani by Jose Castillo. And Otani is going to get a leadoff base hit here. Dr. Delay, how's it going? Streams are going well. I had to take about a week and a half off for the end of the school year, and I was sick and stuff like that, but we're rocking and rolling, trying to get to like 4 games or so a week right now. Always better when the Mets are winning. Good effort by Acuna, just couldn't quite get there. All right, let me go see if I can find it really quick. All right, let me see if I can find it, and then I'll post it here. All right. If you guys are looking for a sub, I'm going to post the link here, but I'll also share the video too. Good and best single Mets season of all time. Yeah, so my son has All Stars practice, and it's been like 5:30 to 7:30, 6 to 8, like every single night. So I finally could cover a bunch of games because we're on the West Coast. So I'm excited about that. And then I want my son to do well for All Stars, but whenever the season ends, which might be sooner rather than later. All right, I'm going to share the screen. I'm going to share because Everyday Mets uploaded the fan on the field for us. Make sure you guys give a like. I'll bring it back to the beginning. Here's the fan on the field. Oh, he's fast. Pretty sure you don't mess with cops in Los Angeles. There you go. I hope that video goes viral for you. Well, Tyrone Taylor makes the putout, and Jose Castillo gets through 2 innings here. 24-4, 1.54 ERA, 268 strikeouts. Yeah. Was that 85, Darren? Was that the 85 season? That is a crazy season. I mean, I understand wins and losses. People don't value that as much nowadays. But over an entire season, you just don't get that many wins unless you're pitching amazing. Like, yes, you need the help of your team, but you also have to pitch amazing. It's both. And I think just deserves mention. All right, we are the last game live, by the way. The Twins did put away the Athletics. Orioles beat the Mariners. We're going to the top of the ninth. We'll bring out Rally Pig for the ninth inning. Rays beat the Rangers. Tigers over the White Sox. The Braves lost. The Phillies lost. The Yankees lost. Mets fans rejoice in all of those. The only team in the National League East that won today is the Nationals, and they beat the Cubs, who are battling with the Mets for top record in the National League, so that helps us. And if the Mets can win this game, which they should, I mean, everything's breaking the Mets' way today. Yeah, that was epic season. All right. Well, I appreciate everybody being here. If you haven't yet done so, please hit that like, hit that subscribe. We are on our way to 500 subscribers. We're trying to get there by the All-Star break. I'm trying to pump out the quality content for you. And if you want to partner with me and join this community, I would just give you that invite. Please consider joining the Patreon. We'll show that to you. You're going to get early access to some of the videos that we produce for you. It'll look something like this, so you can check it out. I'd love to partner with you as we build this community together, keep making more and better content for you guys. And we want to be all in. You know, there's just a small handful of me, Dr. Delay, 5 or 6 of us who are out here trying to stream as many of these games for you guys as possible. And I would love the opportunity to keep doing this all the way through and even full-time eventually with your guys' help and support. So I'm going to be putting a video together, the 3 up and 3 down for this week. I missed it last week because I was sick, but you're going for about by December. Hey, good luck. We're going to be out there trying to support you as well. So, anyway, I would love you guys to partner with us, get early access to videos, and we get enough people going. We'll keep adding more stuff to the Patreon as well. So feel free to go on over, check that out. I guess to make it easier for you, I should post the link one more time. There it is. Patreon.com/MetropoliFins. We've got Rally Pig out. We are at the ninth inning. I think we're going to go. There's no more scores going on. So we're going to just go full screen the rest of the way. We just did the full scoreboard update. There's nothing else to know about that. Ryan Stanek is warming up in the bullpen, probably coming in for the ninth. It's Tyrone Taylor, Luis Torrens, Francisco Lindor due up for the Mets. And if Mets can get 2 on, Juan Soto will get one last chance to extend his extra base hit streak to 6 games. Tyrone Taylor drives this one out to center field, but Pajes is able to make the catch. All right, Luis Torrens is up for the Mets. Obviously, the Mets would love to add on more runs because you never feel safe against the Dodgers, but realistically, they should be able to hold here. What's the Seaver season? What year, Lounge? What year for Seaver is better in F4 for Seaver? Mets are bottom. They are. I'm telling you, I don't know why or how, but Jared Young coming up saved the Mets season when he stepped into the pitch, and he got hit by a pitch in his first game up. That's low to Torrens. 3 balls, 1 strike. I love the picture in picture with the bottle flip going on. Yeah, I don't wanna miss the game, but I still wanna watch the bottle flipping. Great job by SNY. That's absolute great job by SNY. I don't know. I have so I have so much skepticism about my Dolphins being able to do anything, Doctor Delay. Juan Soto just earned $750 million for that bottle flip right there. Fouled out of play by Torrens, going to remain 3 balls and 2 strikes. We're doing all right. It remains 3 balls and 2 strikes to Luis Torrens. Drives that one out to center field. There you go. Pirates. I think that's it's good to have like kind of a small creator environment. Lindor's going to ground that out to Rojas at second base. It's going to end that. Put Alonso out for the save. I don't think you're allowed to do that. Dr. Delay has a great announcer voice, by the way. If you haven't listened to some of the streams, you got to listen. His announcer voice is like next level stuff. So I'll just this is Dr. Delay's stream of the Mets Dodgers from yesterday. So if you guys want to go check out the channel, we love supporting these smaller creators because we're one ourselves. So you just got to keep putting the grind in. Well, Rally Pig ended up 1 for 5 today, but that one was great. It was 3 runs in the first inning. So, hey, 1 for 5 with 3 runs any day of the week for Rally Pig. It's all good. No, it's like it's a very soothing. So, all right, well, we're headed to the bottom of the 9th. Let me change my banner here because I'm still saying the bottom of the 8th here. I'm off by an inning. Here we go. Going to the bottom of the 9th. Ryan Stanek, I believe, is who they were saying was coming in. If the Mets win this game, the Mets will win the season series, the regular season series against the Dodgers. Yeah, fake it out. That's how I feel all the time. So I feel like there's a good chunk of times I say something or I'll start talking about something, and especially Keith Hernandez, he'll start talking about it like right after I do. So certain things I think I'm slightly ahead of. So I do feel, but I am still considering myself a fake announcer for sure. The, the Mets have 6 runs on 4 hits. Mets, Dodgers, Cubs, Phillies, Padres. Who takes the 6th spot? Well, early in the season, it was looking a lot like it was going to be the Giants or the Diamondbacks. And actually, early on, I would still say I give I give the Brewers a shot here, and I give the Cardinals a shot. I is is the Corbin Burns injury? Is he officially out for the season? I haven't seen an update on that. Is he done for the season? He's still seeking a second opinion. So I will withhold judgment. I just think the Brewers just have been kind of laying low all season, and not a lot of people are talking about them. I think they're the team to watch for sure. And they've been on a little bit of a run. I think it'll be good. I think the battle for the last wild card. I even think the last two. I think the Cardinals could actually make a run at the Cubs too. I think there's going to come a point where the Cubs are going to fall back. If you look at the Cubs' schedule over the past 3 weeks, it was nothing but cream puffs. And the last time they faced a tough team, the Mets, they lost 2 out of 3. So I'm not saying the Cubs aren't one of the best teams in the National League. I'm just saying I haven't seen enough. I want to see them come back. They're playing some tougher competition now over the next week or so. So I want to see that before I'm believing. Muncy goes down swinging. There's the first out. Yeah, well, I mean, to me, the Corbin Burns injury is going to determine a lot whether the Diamondbacks can stay afloat. And then other teams that are just in the mix that I'm not 100% counting out. Most on this stream are counting out the Braves. I have not counted out the Braves yet. I'll believe it when I see the eliminated next to the Braves name. Yeah, it is. It's solid, and they've got dudes up and down that lineup. Like, there's not a lot of easy outs there. So, and I'm not saying Corbin Burns is easily replaceable, but if the Diamondbacks can get like 2 starting pitchers at the trade deadline, one to replace Burns and one to upgrade, the bottom of their rotation, I think they could still be in play. All things equal, I trust the Diamondbacks more than I trust the Giants. The Giants have been just too up and down for my liking. Pages, I think, just knocked that one out of the park. So there goes the shutout. It's going to be 6-1 Dodgers here in the bottom of the 9th. And remember, ChatGPT predicted a 6-4 Mets win. I had ChatGPT simulate the game, and it said 6-4. It had a Pete Alonso home run. Didn't have 2, though. That's Ryan Stanek's first home run allowed this season. And not that there's ever a good time to allow a home run, but if there is one, this is it. One out, bottom of the 9th, 0-1 count to Conforto. As a strike 0-2. Conforto's the number 7 hitter, so you definitely want to get this game over before you get back around to Ohtani. Rally pick for the Dodgers. No, I don't want ChatGPT to be right. I want 6-0. I want 6-1. I'm not going to give the Dodgers any help whatsoever. It's going to come back to bite us Mets fans. Big swing by Conforto, but fouled off. 1 ball, 2 strikes. You're talking about the Diamondbacks, Rels? Statistically the best offense last year. Like the Diamondbacks have a good blend of young guys, but not rookies, and vets, but not past their prime. It's a really tough blend to get that on your team at the same time. You know, so they got young guys who have passion, energy, the ability to really they're hungry. That's popped up by Conforto. Lindor waits under it. He makes the catch. There's 2 outs in the ninth. And then guys who are vets, but they're not past their prime vets. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. and other guys like that. When we played them, I'm like, man, it's hard to find 1, 2, 3 innings against the Diamondbacks. No balls, 1 strike to Dalton Rushing here. He does have a single tonight. 2 outs. Ryan Stanikin trying to get through this game. I don't know if Dr. DeLay is still here or not, Rels. No balls, 2 strikes. Man, I don't know. Who do you guys want to give the rock solid relief performance to? Do you go? Oh, there, Dr. DeLay is still here. Do you go Jose Castillo for the 2 innings? I think that's probably where we're going to go. Gotcha. We'll give the rock solid relief performance to Jose Castillo for those 2 innings that he pitched. That is 2 shutout innings, a relief ball against the Dodgers. That's outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Yeah, Castillo. The vote's coming in for Castillo. This is flied out shallow. Shallow right field. Acuna's under it. And the Mets win the season series against the Dodgers, which doesn't mean too much other than if there is a tie, the Mets win the tiebreaker over the Dodgers. Great night. Griffin Canning, great night. Thank you, Dr. DeLay. Thanks for hanging out with us. Pete Alonso, great night. 2 home runs. Anyone but the Dodgers, baby. I think the Mets will, if the Mets are going to have the support of the populace if they face the Dodgers in the NLCS. Maybe not long term, but this year I think they would still get that. People want to see the Dodgers go down. So it would be great. It would be great to have a rematch of Dodgers Mets. And I mean, realistically, guys, the Mets have been in every game this series. Obviously, they were winning in the 9th inning last night. They were winning in the 9th inning 2 nights ago, pulled it out in 10 the first night, lost in 10 the last night, won this one pretty handily, pretty easily. As easily as I think you're going to win a game against the Dodgers 6-1. So put it in the books. So great night to Pete. Great night for Griffin Cannon. Great night for Jose Castillo. And that covers over some of the other bumpy, less than desirable performances from other players. So, hey, understood, Dr. Delay. Understood. Personally, I wouldn't mind if the Pirates could just go on a 20-game winning streak. I'm sure you wouldn't mind either. All right. Well, that being said, I got a video I got to record. We're going to do 3 up and 3 down, 3 teams under the radar that are on the rise and 3 teams that are falling hard. I'm going to make that video. If you want early access to that video and you want to support this channel, you can get that early access on the Patreon. It's going to be up tonight, hopefully in the next hour. It's going to be up, so you even have a reason to stay up just a little bit later if you want to see what that video is all about, or it'll be available for you tomorrow morning. Get early access before everybody else gets it, and I'll also pet the pig for you. We'll pet the pig for the Patreon, and so you have that opportunity. You can go check it out over there. So there you go. Yeah, we're all about that. Let's have the Padres take down the Dodgers. So then you woke up after. So it's good. Appreciate all of you. I'm going to go ahead and record this video. We'll get it up on the Patreon for you patrons. That should be up hopefully in an hour if all goes well. And beyond that, my next scheduled game at this point in time is Saturday. It's like a 9 o'clock game Saturday night with the Rockies. That's going to be my next scheduled game. So I've got to work tomorrow night, and Friday night is my son's first all-star game of the tournament. So that's gonna take those 2 games. Maybe I'll come on late Friday. I might come on like very end of the game on Friday. But so appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. As always, let's go Mets, baby. And will the last one out the door please turn out the lights? Thank you all. Let's go Mets, baby. Have a great night, everybody.